Jack walked into the park, the usual Saturday chaos surrounding him. A golden retriever bounded past, tongue lolling, while a nearby toddler shrieked with delight. Most people beamed at the sight. But then, Jack overheard a woman nearby tighten her scarf, step away from a friendly pug, and mutter, "I hate animals." He felt that immediate, judgmental wince. How could anyone say that? It felt cold. It felt wrong. But as Jack watched her walk away, he realized he was looking at it through a lens of his own bias. He wondered, was she truly heartless, or was that phrase a shield for something else entirely? Jack quickly reminded himself of a vital truth. Disliking animals is not the same as hurting them. The world often confuses the two, but psychology draws a hard line between them. One is a preference, a personal orientation, while the other is a dangerous behavioral pathology. But that didn't explain the why behind the words. As he dug into the research, Jack discovered the first layer: fear disguised as hate. Psychologists have long documented how a single traumatic event, a childhood dog bite or an unexpected attack, can trigger a lifetime of avoidance. Using the lens of classical conditioning, he realized that for some, "I hate animals" is simply a verbal shortcut for "I am terrified of being hurt." It is far easier to sound callous than to admit to being vulnerable. Then there was the issue of experience. Not everyone grows up with a furry companion curled at the foot of their bed. Jack realized that without early positive exposure, many people simply never developed that specific neural pathway for animal-human connection. To them, an animal isn't a fur baby or a best friend. It is just a living organism. It's not necessarily a lack of heart, it's a lack of connection. Jack's research led him to the work of researchers like Elizabeth Paul, who noted that empathy toward animals exists on a wide, fluid spectrum. Just as some people are more naturally inclined toward music or math, others have different empathy footprints. If someone lacks an emotional bond with animals, it doesn't automatically mean they are a bad person. It means their emotional map is shaped differently. But here, Jack had to be careful. While disliking is one thing, he looked into the work of experts like Frank Ascione, who studied the darker side of human-animal interaction. He found the Rayner warning sign: intentional cruelty. When the dislike moves from avoidance to a desire to inflict harm, that is when the alarm bells should ring. That is no longer about fear or a lack of bonding. It is often linked to aggression and deeper behavioral disorders. As the sun began to set, Jack watched the woman disappear into the distance. He realized his initial judgment had been lazy. Human psychology is rarely black and white. Most of the time, that blunt, harsh-sounding statement, "I hate animals," isn't a confession of malice. It's a confession of fear, a reflection of a life lived without certain experiences, or a difference in emotional wiring. The next time he heard it, Jack decided he wouldn't jump to conclusions. He would listen, observe, and remember. The real reason is almost always hidden beneath the surface.